Hey, welcome back to Everything Money. We're glad you joined us again. As always, it's Seth, Paul, and Mo in the big house. What do we call this room? The studio, Paul? We need a name for a room.
Studio.
The big room, the badass room, whatever. We're here again, and so are you. It's a confusing time out there. I know. I'm you. I bring your questions to two multi-gazillionaires, and here's what we're talking about today, Paul. This whole thing with the U.S. dollar, where is it going? What is inflation? Where is that going? Gold prices are down. What does that mean? Bitcoin prices are, cryptocurrencies are down. Good God, Tim informed me about I can't keep up with most of these, but Dogecoin has been slashed by 2/3 since Elon Musk's SNL appearance. There's not much he can say to save this at the moment. All of this is combining, Paul, is what should a normal person at home watching this video be thinking about how the U.S. dollar works with crypto? Where would you put your money at the moment? Mo, you're talking about on the morning show how gold is down. So Is it time to buy those two gold ETFs that Paul loves, GDX and GDXJ? This is the topic today, boys. Fill me in on some of this, Paul.
So there's the theory out there is that gold is a good hedge against inflation. I've seen other arguments against that. It makes sense that it would go up with inflation. I'm not trying to get into I'm not a commodities guy, right? So the one thing I understand best is cash flow. And when you buy a piece of gold, an ounce of gold, you're not getting a continuous piece of cash flow.
As like a piece of real estate that would pay
or
you.
Or business or things like that.
Regardless of its value.
Correct. And again, for those out there who don't understand, when you buy a stock, even though they're not giving you their cash flow every year, they're making their balance sheet better. They're buying back shares. They're issuing dividends. You are getting that value at the end of the day in the stock value at some point in the future, even though you don't get the check directly. So everybody remember that. With gold, if you believe in gold, which I do believe in gold.
You have for a while. You've been talking about, again, GDX and GDXJ, which are...
GDX and GDXJ are two ETFs that focus on the miners of gold, refineries, whatever they're called. And that's more of a value play to me because these guys make cash flow and earnings based on gold prices, right? So if I think gold is going up, I could buy gold, or I could buy the GDX and GDXJ and make a bet on the entire sector that as gold prices go up, those companies will have a higher profit margin and therefore drive value at a much bigger rate. That makes most sense for me. Does that mean it's the right way, Seth?
Well, no, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, as you always say.
I'm not a commodities guy. So for me, I like to invest in the businesses that if I think there's a good potential for that specific commodity, I would buy the businesses underlying that commodity that make money off that commodity. But that's also why I try to avoid those kind of businesses unless I think there's a pretty compelling story. And I do think there's a compelling story for gold. I do think that as the market goes down, the S&P goes down at some point, and people get worried about things, and people get worried about inflation, they're going to flock to gold, right? And if they flock to gold prices will go higher. The companies underneath them that do all the work with them will end up making more money. Their stocks will go higher, et cetera. That is the play I'm making. As it worked, it's worked for me so far. Mo, you bought some GDXJ and GDX with me, right?
Yeah, I own quite a bit of both.
So do I. It's gone up a lot. Now, again, just because it's up a lot doesn't mean I should invest more in it.
No.
And I'm very happy with my position and riding my position out for a few years until because everything goes in cycles, guys.
Yeah, I keep saying about gold. If you're going to invest in gold, it's a multiple year play. You can't look at what happened last week and say, oh my God, I'm getting hammered on gold. What do I do? Because I had a lot of people coming to me that way. This is a very long-term 1 to 5 year play, 3 to 5 year play even.
So look, this is a 3-year chart for gold. Looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now look at the 1-year chart for gold. Poop in the butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, even though it's up from a year ago, you saw a peak over here, and we were riding high.
We were riding high, I remember
in
that.
the summertime.
Yep.
And then okay, fine. It's just, to me, betting on the price of gold itself, I just don't like doing as much. I do think the GDX and GDXJ, these miners, is it a miner? What are they called?
I think they're miners. Let me just check for you.
Probably should know that.
Probably.
But these guys
miners.
these guys make a lot of money, I think, at like high 3 figures of gold prices. So they're really printing it right now because we're in the high teen figures of these things. So if they make money between 700 and 900 on gold, and we're at 1780, seems like they're going to be doing pretty well. Yeah. Now it's just a matter of people getting sick of companies that are all overhyped, and all of a sudden look at these companies going, wait a second, this company's spitting off a lot of earnings, this company's spitting off a lot of cash flow, and I can buy it cheap. That's what happens. If you go look at the history of all investment classes, very rarely does one asset kick butt one year, kick butt continuously. Yeah. And over time, there are cycles through it. There'll be a gold boom again soon. There'll be everything that just goes in these cycles. And I'm hoping to take advantage of that play. We've heard a little bit about gold, not as much as before years ago when it went to $1,800 an ounce. It was like all the rave. It has quietly gotten back to $1,800 an ounce and nobody's really paying attention.
No, but yeah, it's very quiet out there about gold.
Right.
With the exception of it being mentioned in inflation stories and this and that.
Now, remember, how does this link in with my value investing play? Well, I pick what I know. I understand cash flow. I understand where value can be. I do believe my good friend Michael told me that he likes gold a few years ago. And I was like, why? What's the reason? He gave me his idea. And I'm like, that actually makes sense. Did a little bit of research with him. Yeah, I really like this a lot. Mm-hmm. So I started buying into it. I bought the companies. I bought the ETF of the companies, the miners that make a lot of money when gold prices go up.
Right.
Are we talking like a couple $100,000 of this, Paul?
It's a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it's big.
More big.
Yeah, I've got a good position in it.
Same.
Okay. So take home message on just the gold aspect for normal people like myself, like the ETFs, like them even better now that they're down, Mo.
If you understand commodities themselves, buy gold directly. But I just don't do it.
Yeah, don't just listen to our video and say these guys like gold. Go find out why you would like gold. Maybe it's not for everyone. I mean, you can definitely go find other options.
We're buying the miners. We're not buying gold itself.
We are not. There's a lot of people that say, "Do I buy physical metals?" Not at all.
Now,
That's just
Paul,
not my
you
game.
wore a gold tooth on your bicuspid for at least from 2018 to 2019.
And then I woke up one morning.
Go on.
I was naked, and my tooth was gone. And so
must have been one of those Bumble dates.
Gold was so valuable.
Yeah, it was a Bumble date.
It was a Bumble date because my picture on Bumble was.
So there's a spike in gold. There's a spike in Paul's
I was like Joe
dates.
Pesci in Home Alone.
Yeah, it was a spike in Paul's date stealing your gold teeth. So got it. That's a direct correlation. You heard it first here on Everything Money. Paul, obviously, you're not surprised about the plummet of Bitcoin. Dogecoin down 25%.
Well, remember, they're still up a lot from before,
Yes.
but I just think this is I just saw a billionaire yesterday say I'm still sticking to my $250,000 for Bitcoin. And I just begged the question of,
why?
Yeah. And everybody's comment is, well, it's the future of currency. Okay, so which one of the 4,500 futures of currency is the future of currency? I just don't understand. And how many? Look at Mark Cuban. I love this. Mark Cuban loses. What was it? Titan?
Titan coin.
So Mark Cuban backs Titan coin. It goes to zero.
$60 down to zero in one day.
And what was his comment?
I can't remember what we said. Oh wait, we need regulations.
We need regulation, which ironically is one of the major selling points to cryptocurrency is less regulation.
Yeah.
And we've been saying for years, it's just a matter of time before, we talk on the show about how every other channel changes their viewpoints about things. Mm-hmm. We change our viewpoints when the information has changed, right? But we've consistently been saying it just takes time before a government goes, wait a second, these things are a competition to our own currency. Yeah, banned.
So China really started doing that. And there was a story about it this morning. They're basically stopping cryptocurrency, and they're saying they're going on the premise that it's bad for the environment. Come on.
Epic.
Come on.
Just like, what's
just like Elon said. So
Elon. Now Elon's getting it back going, well, no, wait a second. We'll accept it as long as we find a more environmentally friendly way to mine it.
And the thing that stuck out to me the most, I read this on the morning show the middle of last week. The majority of hedge funds in the United States said by 2026, they would be invested in Bitcoin in some fashion. That's because by 2026, there will be regulation by then.
Of course.
And that is why they're going to be, it's not going to be the Bitcoin that you're seeing today. There's just no possibility of it. So that's why these hedge funds are saying it. These guys are not dumb people.
Give me some way of giving intrinsic value to crypto and I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Just like Amazon stock. I will be a buyer of Amazon. There will be a day when Paul Gabriel goes, you're crazy to not own Amazon stock. And that'll be the day when everybody out there goes, but Amazon is so low because it fell from $3,500 a share to something. I'll be like, okay. The way I change my mind is when the information has changed. That's it. Right now, we have 4,500 cryptos at least. And I still, when I ask about any specific crypto, the comment is the exact same reason why I'd buy any other. So I just sit there and go, wait a second. So if it's like picking 10 women here and saying, why you're going to marry this one? Well, because she's beautiful, smart, and nice. What about this one? She's beautiful, smart, and nice. What about this one? Beautiful, smart, and nice. What about this one? Go down the line. They're all the same attributes. Well, then which one are you picking? Which one are you marrying? They're all beautiful, smart, and nice, right? There's got to be some other element that makes it worth it. And now it's just hype. Dogecoin literally started as a joke.
The guy who started it, he said, "This is a joke," and it took off. He has a dog as the logo.
Unbelievable.
So Mo, going back, it's funny. You mentioned that China was looking to regulate Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I taught a class at Ohio State, Paul, that was about environmental science.
Mm-hmm.
There are 241 coal-burning power plants in the United States. There are over 1,100 coal-burning power plants in China alone, and they built 300 of them just last year. So I mean, you want to talk about...
By the way, can you explain to people why that is an amazing... For those of you who aren't making the connection on this one...
The United States has not built a new coal power plant in 30 years. China builds like 9 a month, something astronomical.
300 a year is 25 a month.
300 last year alone.
The reason that's important, guys, is China's sitting there saying we're blocking crypto and Bitcoin because of the environmental impact of crypto.
Now maybe they need to build these power plants to fund all these miners, Paul.
When Corona hit China and they shut down, skies were opening up.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh my God, we've never had better sky. I mean, it's just, guys, this is a very high. So the other thing, guys, is how many cryptos are there? We just heard this, we just saw this data. There's some websites that say like 8,000. There are 1,900 failed cryptos so far that you haven't even heard of. Why did they fail? I don't know.
I see.
They probably don't. Probably just because of lack of enthusiasm. That's it. I mean, there's no fundamental reason why I think they fail. When companies fail, I can give a fundamental reason. Sales are declining, poor management, fraud. There's a bunch of reasons why you can explain a company. Internet age, when the dot-com bust happened, how many companies failed? It's because they had no revenue. Mm-hmm. They had no revenue. Look at MarketWatch. MarketWatch.com was a publicly traded company in 2000. And it didn't fail. Why? Because they figured out a way to make money. It's not publicly traded anymore, but they figured out a way to stay around. You don't fail just because your stock goes to zero. Your stock goes to zero because you failed. That's the reality. Your stock goes to zero because your company failed, not the other way around.
So the comment we're going to get below, if you read below, is that, Paul, you don't get it, yada, yada. What you do like getting and investing in is things that you really understand. So for the viewer at home that's tired of maybe seeing their Dogecoin wallet go up and down like today, 27%.
Oh my
Paul,
God.
again, bring it home to what are the foundations of this channel and what you're teaching.
So we're trying to teach fundamental sound investing. If you want the hype, go for it. I'm not a hype guy. I'm not saying there's no, I believe in momentum trading, but have a process. We're trying to teach people to say, here's the mindset, here's the process you have, whether it's chart reading with Mo, whether it's fundamentals with me, and at some point momentum trading. I believe in all three of these things. I don't do chart reading, but I still believe in it from the process that we're doing over here. I like process. And when you're fundamentally based, you have a process. When you're hype-based, it's real. You'll sit there and say, well, I have a process. What's your process? Disruptors. That's the most subjective thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Disruptors. What's a disruptor?
My definition of disruptor is way different than yours and way different than yours, Seth.
Yes. But you know what disruptor really means? How do I justify this really, really high valuation? That's disruption to everybody.
Mm-hmm. And Paul, I'll finish with this. Mo, I saw a comment. Again, I'm not reading a bunch of comments, but I like to get feedback. And I saw a comment that said, let's face it, everybody. Someone in the comments said, Paul does not make money from his trades. He makes money off of our patrons and your real estate. So don't trust him. And I thought to myself, if you guys only knew our
Can you see my smile?
If you only knew our schedule, is that because Paul has this disciplined approach that has leaked over into Mo, leaked over into my thought process, we have time to make 700 YouTube videos in 2.5 years.
Because of process.
It's because of process. I mean, I have 2 other businesses. I could be telling everyone else in the world I look busy, but in fact, we mill around in the studio, make videos all week, and it's just incredible. And so, Paul,
and by the way, do we make money off this shit? Absolutely. Do I make money off real estate? Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you right now that those pale in comparison to the stock portfolio that I'll have when the market goes down. When the market goes down, nobody else can say that.
That's right.
Everybody else sits there and says like, oh, the market's so great. I mean, when the market goes down, I will do better. So for those of you who sit there and say that, you're just, and listen, I get it. I'd be saying the same thing about some random guy I saw on YouTube, and more power to you. I'll see you in 10 years. Let me know. Like, I'll be like, okay, sweet. I mean, I do this because I love this. Mo does this because he loves it.
Yeah.
And everybody knows this personally, understands that.
Yeah,
I wonder how many people are like, why is Paul teaching? Like, He's got so much going on. I just like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yep.
It's fun.
That's our show, guys. Mo in the morning at 9 a.m. Our big show, Tuesday live stream, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Join us. Click the link in the Patreon below. Paul, 3,400 members. And dear God, if you're watching this video, we might actually be at 50,000 right now. We're so close.
Right. Actually,
We're so close
tomorrow,
to 50,000.
No, I don't think it's going to hit tomorrow. Do you think it's going to hit tomorrow?
I think it's going to hit
As of this very second, guys, we have 49,546. As of this very
I think
second.
it's going to hit tomorrow.
I don't think it's going to hit tomorrow.
So a Tesla giveaway at 50,000.
Hey, let's do something.
Okay.
Let's do a bet. Who wants to pick the hour it happens in the day? Okay, Seth, pick it.
Oh my gosh.
So today is the 21st.
Okay, if I get serious.
My goal was to have it happen on the live stream.
All right, I have a
tomorrow.
number.
Yeah.
I have a time.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1:15 is my time.
1:15 tomorrow?
Yes.
It ain't happening tomorrow. Next.
I'm changing mine. Mine's 2 a.m. on Wednesday. 2 a.m. Wednesday morning.
I won't be up.
I'll say 6 a.m. Wednesday.
If you're in the Patreon and you're over in let's see, the 2 a.m. If you're over in Nepal
or
in
England, England will be 7 a.m. in England.
text me and wake me up so I can screen capture that
Susie.
50,000. Yeah, Susie.
Yeah,
Some of our
tell
great
call
patrons.
us. Okay, you don't have our numbers.
That's our take on gold, Bitcoin, cash. We'll keep continuing this. If hopefully this cleared up some of it, but I'm also still learning from you, Paul. It might be still confusing in the future, but
I think there'll be crypto around for a long time.
It will
but
be.
there's got to be a fundamental,
And it's
and it'll be a change. I think it'll be backed by governments because we always talk about. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. There are 180 governments in the world that have currencies that recognize the United Nations. There are 4,000 plus cryptos, at least. Come on, do I really have to explain any further than that? Do I need to connect the dots here? Like literally, and by the way, there are currencies out there that you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole because you're like, oh my God, look how dangerous that currency is. And it's backed by a government. A government. Cryptocurrency is backed by your neighbor's 7-year-old kid who is sitting there going, look at that cute puppy. Let's go buy that coin.
But Paul, he's got 300,000 followers on TikTok. So
I know, because crypto experts learn. I won't never forget. I will be talking about this till the day I die. The Market Watch article that said these 3 teenagers are crypto experts, and I was like, and seen. And by the way, Bitcoin's currently down half from its peak. Still up a lot for those who are going to be like, well, wait, it's up. I get it. Still up a lot, but half, guys. This game changing. And by the way, when I say half, and how far? How fast?
Yeah.
How fast?
3 months? 4
Not
months?
even. What date is this? What date is this? I can't see because Seth wants me to have this chart.
Well, it's less than 3 months, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there it is. Well, Paul, you just
April 10th or so.
Yeah, you don't get it. Well,
I don't get it.
Congrats, Mo and Paul, on your new mansion in Turks and Caicos.
Oh, thank you.
That's our show, guys. Take a thumbs up on the way out. Love you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.